I bet you didn't hear the whistle in this beat. Stay tuned. Yo, this is Drino Beats with Tenor Ghosts, and in this video we're going to deconstruct how Juice WRLD and Young Thug's Bad Boy was made in FL Studio. So as usual, I'm a little late to deconstruct this beat on YouTube, but some of the other videos I saw out there were missing a few instruments. Their drums weren't exactly correct, but we'll go fairly in depth on this one to just be as accurate as possible. So before we get started, this is how I graded myself. It's not 100% accurate, but it's pretty close. And for anybody who's interested, the FLP is in the description below. All we ask in return is just a sub. So here's what the intro to the beat sounds like. Alright, so the hardest part about this beat is trying to replicate the actual like electric guitar lead. I'm not 100% sure, but I don't think Pierre Bourne sampled this one. I think it's actually like a legit guitar that he added some special effects to. Nothing on Who Sampled or Reddit seems to know what this preset is. So some of the key concept here, for those of you who don't play guitar, like I don't either, I actually reached out to a few of my friends who are fairly good at playing guitar and asked them what effect this was in this song. And they actually told me to check out two things. One is called the wah-wah pedal effect for guitar, and another one is called pinch harmonics, something that's used a lot with electric guitars, especially in that heavy metal. So if you guys want to check those out, you can YouTube them on your own, but essentially those are the two effects that are rooted in this guitar sound that we're going to try to recreate. Okay, so for the guitar, there are 5 main sounds I tried to use that would like mimic those effects that we talked about. The first one is Serum, and it's the BA Gritter preset. And all the notes are the same, by the way. Here are the notes for everything. The other one I tried to layer was another Serum preset, Saw, Find Me. Another clone of that just to like, again, have different frequencies. And we're actually using Slayer as well. So just using the power chords, and I played with the amp and the cabinet settings a little bit and going for that whole pinch harmonics effect. And the last one we used was just the distorted wah-wah preset. So altogether, I dumped it out into several samples. You'll notice like in the instrumental, it sounds like it's a hard slice after every chord is played. And so a easy way to sort of recreate that is just right click the actual sample up here and go to automate and then volume. And so what I did is every note I try to like have the volume dip down and come right back, dip down and come right back, but it's really subtle. So with those samples exported, here's what that sounds like separately, just for emphasis. Okay, so that was the hardest part about the instrumental. So also in the intro, we have a few synth leads coming in. Here are the notes for those, and here's what they sound like all together. So as far as presets go, we're using a 60s lead in Purity, also using another 60s lead with some Vox and pad added in Purity as well. And lastly is the oboe in Purity too. So I think Pierre Bourne had some lower frequencies playing at the same time as these notes. I think it's just a C sharp, and here's what that sounds like by itself. It's really subtle, but if you listen close, you can hear it. So as far as the effects goes for the leads, there's not a whole lot. Just took out some of the frequencies and gave it some wider, as well as like had a panomatic effect going on and just gave it some distortion with sausage fattener. And lastly, for the part that took me like forever to figure out, if you isolate certain frequencies, you can hear the whistle. I know it's super quiet. I'm probably gonna get a ton of hate comments like, bro, there's no such thing as a whistle. And they're like, I didn't hear it. But I promise you, here's what the notes sound like for the lead whistle. And I'll turn the volume up just for emphasis. And you know, no, when I was playing with these notes, like it sounded so familiar. I'm like, that sounds like something I've heard so many times before. What is it? I'll give you a hint. And for the lead whistle, this is just a generic sound that comes with all versions of FL Studio. And so with the lead and the whistle, here's what those two sound like together. All right, so as far as the drums go, it's pretty simple. You have a clap, hat, 808, and an additional 2 snares and a chant. So all together, here's what the drums sound like. So as far as the clap, classic Metro Boomin Lex clap, and it's pitched up a few semitones. For the hi-hat, we just got the typical Pierre hi-hat pitched down like 1 semitone. And here's the pattern for that. And for the 808, using the Aiden Kinway method, yes, he deserves credit for it because I never would have thought to do this. But if you were to paste the 808 and look at the same wave patterns, you can pretty much tell it's the exact same as the one that they're using. Not adding a whole lot of effects, I think just boosting a couple frequencies here and taking out some of the lower ones. Here's what that pattern sounds like. And I just found this in a Pierre Bourne 808 kit. Here's another chant that they use. And there's another snare. And here's what it sounds like with all the drums together. Okay, and for those of you who are wondering how that whole machine gun effect was made, it's actually pretty simple. You can find this sound in one of his drum kits as well. The way that you make the machine gun effect is you just paste them all in like this and just let them roll. Here's what that sounds like individually. So yeah, that's pretty much it. If you found this tutorial useful, please like and subscribe. We're trying to grow this channel. And if you need any of the sounds that were used in this beat, just email us. We're happy to send them out to you. And just comment if there's another beat you'd like us to try to remake. We're open to any suggestions and we really enjoy this process. So thank you guys again for watching. And until next time, catch you then.